Not too long ago, RDC World 1 dropped a back and forth video in which they had a highly contested debate.
That one Hashira cannot beat the Titans.
One Hashira versus all the non-Titans?
On Attack on Titan, yeah.
Can a single Demon Slayer Hashira defeat all 9 Titans simultaneously? You gotta be all 15 perks if you think a Hashira can't defeat all 9 Titans simultaneously. Nevertheless, 1v1. No rumbling included because, well, and no Slayer Mark Hashira feats because, well, let's pick a Hashira at random.
Hell no.
Besides my obvious bias, Rengoku's actually a fair pick because the consensus for him is that out of the coincidentally 9 Hashira, he's either top 4 or top 5 in terms of strength, so he's a good standard to compare. Now let's compare his stats and feats against the Titans to see how he compare. Firstly, what does it take to defeat these Titans? A strong cut to the back of the neck or nape. Right now, let's establish that beheading or doming a Titan does immobilize the Titan. With that being said, do you know who else regularly achieves the same thing by insta-beheading demons? Every single Demon Slayer. Next, you might be saying, well, maybe the Titan's napes are harder to cut. Slicing the Titan's neck would be like splitting jello down the middle for Rengoku, as in order for a baby, no amp base Tanjiro had to split a boulder in half to begin hunting low-level demons. According to fellow nerds from fandom and versus battles, this would translate to 0.045 tons of TNT, or small building level. Thunder Spears have proven to completely overwhelm stronger Titans on the list, like the Beast and Armor Titan. For reference, this is the result of a small to medium tree taking a Thunder Spear. Later on in the series, we see a stronger, more experienced Tanjiro that couldn't even put a dent into Lower Moon 6 Rui with that same bare minimum small building level attack potency. Rengoku is obviously leagues stronger than that Tanjiro and easily upscales past people who can slice the steel frame of a train like Inosuke did effortlessly. The Titans, on the other hand, with the exception of the armor and Warhammer, are just flesh. The armored even being stated to have steel-like armor, which if we take literally, again, is nothing to a Hashira. Oh yeah, what about the crystal hardening? It adds more durability. Oh, you mean this crystal hardening that gets negged by the Jaw Titan's claws? Those same claws that were clashing with and getting parried by Levi, not destroying his blades? Admittedly, that's probably my weakest point in all of this video, but the point remains. The equal force of Levi against the equal force of a bloodlusted Jaw Titan cancels each other out. And dare I say, beginning of series baby Tanjiro is probably on the same level as Levi, or stronger in terms of physical stats. More on that soon. How about the Warhammer Titan's armor being severed by the weakest Titan shifter? All in all, it really only takes building level attack potency to sever a Titan's nape. In terms of Hashira durability, the biggest stat to showcase is their resilience. See, with enough force they can be impaled, have their limbs cut off, and poisoned like humans can, but will keep the fight going, utilizing their breathing to reinforce and boost all of the stats. With upscaling anyways, I could argue that the force used to impale Rengoku was greater than or equal to small town level, as Gyotaro upper 5's blood sickle was able to decimate an entire village with the cast of Uzui, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu at the epicenter, leaving relatively unscathed, whom Kyojuro is stronger than all of. I'd be dishonest if I didn't say that I do believe 3 to 5 direct hits from a Titan like the Attack Titan would kill a Hashira, but it's highly unlikely those hits would land anyway, as we later touch speed. For reference, take a look at this scene of Rengoku tanking this hit from upper 3 against the steel frame of a train with no sign of damage on him, and it definitely gives credence to their durability. Jumping from both sides, durability, size scaling. I think it's here where casual viewers get mixed up. Being kaiju size does not call for a win against a human sized opponent automatically. If that human is stronger, faster, and more durable than said kaiju, it's GG. Well, damn, how would a Demon Slayer even get to the height of a Titan without ODM gear? I'd argue a Hashira could make that jump regardless, or at the very least be capable of running alongside it, like Inosuke and Tanjiro demonstrated in the Mugen Train. You see, take Tanjiro from the entertainment arc, who was able to jump to the roof of a second-story building. It should at the very minimum be 15 to 20 feet. We of course know that Hashira's upscaled him to this point by more than double in stats. The Attack Titan is 50 feet in size, the Jaw and Cart even less. But if you want exact measurements and powers of these Titans, let's even say no. and don't grant them the ability to jump or run alongside the Titan. What makes you think that a Hashira like Kyojuro wouldn't be able to cut it down to size, like Levi demonstrated against the Beast Titan here, and then exploit the nade? Now to regeneration and stamina. There shouldn't even be an argument. Demons by far have league superior regen and stamina than that of a Titan shifter. Any demon worth its salt can regenerate instantaneously. Meanwhile, Titans take more time and energy to do so. And if I'm not mistaken, it actually leaves them defenseless. From my understanding, they can attack and regen from huge damage simultaneously. It's one or the other, essentially. But see references here. Future Dio here. I wanted to thoroughly explain what I meant by the previous statements in case it got a bit confusing. Through my entirety of watching Attack on Titan, a Titan shifter has never shown the ability to regen whilst actively engaging in a fight. Let's dissect this scene here with the armored Titan versus the anti-Marley forces. Here, a ballistic shell rips off Reiner's arm and puts a hole through him. Fast forward a bit, when the threats are now neutralized, there's a bit of calm. So much so that he signals for Zeke's entry. So now I beg the question, why hasn't he regenerated his arm? It's obviously essential to maximize his strength, and the operation still hasn't reached its conclusion. That question leads to two roads for me. One, he is regenning, but it's just slow. Two, he can't heal while in the midst of combat. Either way, both answers work in my favor against the Titans. Now back to your current deal. If compromised in a bad spot, it's in their favor to abandon ship and start attacking with another Titan body anyways. However, most Titan shifters can transform up to 2 to 3 times in a day anyway. God forbid Rengoku catches one of these Titan shifters in their human forms, swapping for another Titan body. It's done. These humans would be incapable of even registering a Hashira's existence before getting their heads cut off. A Hashira like Rengoku can fight all night with upper 3 and not complain about stamina once. Take this 1 hour time limit from Hanji placed on the Attack Titan for reference. Let's also throw in the fact that the Attack Titan was able to transform up to 3 times in the Liberio raid, and it's clear that the Titan's gas tank would run out before a Hashiras. Finally, for speed and attack potency, let's go more in depth in attack potency. 8 out of 9 Titans AP should hover around the building to city block level. The Attack Titan being able to lift up overhead, destroy a building with its transformation, etc. Most Titans are somewhat comparable to the Attack Titan in AP anyways, the exception being the walking nuke. Admittedly, Hashira AP aren't exactly flashy. They're more suited to precise attacks on a durable target, but we can take the Tengen and Gyotaro fight as an example. Alluded to earlier, Upper 5's blood sickles were able to wipe off in structural damage the equivalent of multi-city blocks to arguably town level. These same sickles that Tengen was parrying and clashing with would have had to be the equal force to cancel out those sickles. Later, Gyotaro, who's lived for over a century, compliments Tengen on his brute strength. A mid-ranking Hashira like Rengoku, who should be stronger than Uzui, as hinted by Uzui himself, have been able to output enough force on a casual attack to rock an entire train off its tracks. Akaza would of course upscale to Gyotaro. Rengoku can clash toe-to-toe with Akaza in force, proving bare minimum the Hashira should be multi-city block level. We also know that much AP isn't needed to defeat 7 out of the 9 Titans anyway. Don't believe me? Here's Eren, an athlete level human, who again Tanjiro's season 1 is superior to in all categories, slicing open the nape of the Colossal Titan like butter. When you take into account that the Colossal Titan literally could not react to Eren's movement, it gets worse from here. Let's talk about speed. This is where it's a decisive runaway. The Hashira's movement should be damn near inconceivable to the Titan shifters. Hashiras that can blitz and restrain other meta-humans like Inosuke before they even know what's happening, Rengoku and Akaza's movement speed being inconceivable to a superhuman Tanjiro's eyes, Giyu slashing lower 6 webs so fast that it looks like he's standing still, are all feats that place these guys at massively hypersonic comfortably. Massively hypersonic meaning anything capable of movement at 50 to 7500 Mach. Tanjiro in season 1 is fighting unnamed demons that can react up to 50 Mach as per these scans. The Titans on the other hand are just as fast as old military weapons essentially. Take the Beast Titan not being able to get out of the way of this naval ship fire, the Attack Titan getting pieced up by cannon fire, you get the picture. To really drive the nail home in speed, fastest jet in the world is the NA-X-15. Its fastest speeds are 4500 miles per hour or Mach 5.93. The fastest Titan, the Jaw Titan, through more nerd scanning is on multiple panels, seeing dodging artillery fire, with calcs placing it at subsonic, effectively making the Titans statues in the face of a Hashira. Look, I love Attack on Titan. In fact, it's in my top 5. But if you think a Hashira couldn't walk away with this dub, you're crazy. Every Hashira is essentially Levi on steroids. They're all faster, stronger, and more durable than he is. Yet, even he is on par with the combative power of a Titan Shifter or two. If you disagree with anything I talked about, let me know down below, where I'll be in that mug responding to as much criticism and love as possible. Big shout out to RDC for the video idea, and an even bigger shout out to everyone who helped get me to 150 subs. I know it doesn't seem like much, because it isn't. Run me my subs. Enough yapping. Stick around for some possible win cons if you like. Other than that, be superior than yesterday. Okay, so I basically chalked it down to 3 win cons, right? Win con 1, the Titans have access to the rumbling. I don't even think I have to really explain that. It's game over for the Hashiras. They're not stopping a cataclysmic fucking rumbling. No shot. Win con number 2, the Colossal Titan point blank nuking the battlefield with its transformation and killing the rest of the team in the process. That sounds fair to me. Yeah, I can see a Hashira dying to that. Win con 3, the Hashira in question being Shinobu. Shinobu is stated to not have enough strength to cut a demon's neck, hence why she mainly uses her agility and poison in combat scenarios. And as far as I'm concerned, poison wouldn't deter any Titan, so she'd probably lose. And to be honest, that's all I can think of. So, peace. Sensu!